Call this regular council meeting to order, February 4th, 2020. Are there any additions to the agenda?
I just need to add the land bank at the very end of the meeting. And that would include a 10-minute executive session, and then discussion over a dumpster. Second, I guess.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. Any other additions?
I got one, Mayor.
Yes.
I need a 15-minute executive session for non-elected personnel matters. Another, second one. I have one down there.
All right, any others? All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, moving on, citizens' comments.
Is that me?
Yes.
Okay. I kind of drew the short straw, guys. So here I am to talk about the bus. And I do want to say the seniors, and I really appreciate, I guess I can just hand you a number of them. We appreciate using the bus a lot. It serves maybe 30 to 40 people a month. And we're just concerned about some of the ways that it's being handled now. Mark, here's one. Mainly it's more for my notes, but I started working for the rec, heaven, who knows, 13, 14 years ago, and when that happened, I then had to become certified or qualified for using the bus. And in those days, you had to take a class under Mel, and you had to drive with the policeman. Which was a piece of cake. But anyway, there were also some rules that you needed to follow. You had to fill up the bus with gas after your group used it, leave the bus interior clean after your use, and the exterior would be cleaned by the city. It would be kept washed and looking proper. The bus needed to be housed, not to be left outside, and no trips overnight or out of state without council approval. Well, long trips like that didn't affect us because we just mainly do day trips, and they're even shorter now than they used to be. But anyway, mainly, as I said, we usually do day trips or even half day trips. I serve a very elderly group, 75, and I'm one of the youngest. There's a couple younger than me, but the rest are 80 or older. And that's why they appreciate the bus so much, because I can take them out and do things that they normally don't do by themselves. A lot of them are widows. Recently, the bus has been left dirty by the previous users. I've had to pick up a lot of trash, and I'm not beneath doing that, but if I pick it up for me, I feel like others should pick up after themselves. The exterior of the bus has gone over a year without being washed. To me, this is a very lack pride that has City of St. John right on the side of it. And we take it out into our neighboring towns and it looks filthy. Is that the way they're going to see our town? So I really appreciate if it would be washed and kept clean. It used to be washed about every 6 months, if I'm correct. Probably Jerry or Jeff can say more to that than
It's
I
been
can.
washed since then. It's
Well, I
been washed
know.
a couple times this fall.
Well, then whoever takes it out at night really gets it dirty.
Yeah, it's been washed.
So, okay. One of the main concerns on the seniors is repair to the air conditioning. Is it going to happen?
We
If
can't
it's
find
not,
anybody to do it, nobody will work on it.
we know it's an old thing. We need to keep it up.
We've been
but
turned down by everybody we've taken it to.
I appreciate your help in looking for that. And the last concern is the lack of housing it. The last time I used it, I had to spend a good length of time defrosting the windows and getting what I could reach. I'm a short person. Those windows are hard to get the ice off of. And so we'd really appreciate or know why it's not being housed. It's old, but it's ours and we need to take pride in it. And I'd like some input back from you guys.
We have room stored inside, and then,
We don't.
we.
Not this time of the year.
We did, but
Yeah,
it changed or something.
well, when we put the lift in over there in the shop, then everything else got shuffled. And, then we took on the police department's pickup, and then we've gotta have a place for the sweeper in the winter time and that stuff, and that door right there is the only one it'll go in. I don't mind putting it in, but here's the problem. The last few times that bus went out, the door got destroyed every time. Now, why? I don't know. Whether
Wasn't
it's
my
lack,
bad.
whether it's lack of patience on waiting on the door, or what it is, but I've had it repaired twice. And the last time, they broke the bottom two panels in the door. I talked to the council, we chose not to spend the money to repair those panels. So we kinda handle that door with kid gloves. But it gets hit about one more time, it's gonna take a door. I mean, it has to be completely up before that bus can go in. It only lacks about this much of going in there. So, it's the only door that it'll go in, other than in the main shop or back here where the other trucks are parked. So, it won't go in the south door.
And the issue with the bus being dirty from the other group that are taking it, that's already been taken care of. They're not allowed to take the bus anymore because they're not following the rule and
I
regulation.
saw that on Facebook.
Oh, I didn't know you put
Thanks
it on
to
Facebook, but
complainers, yeah.
We
Yeah.
could probably shuffle some stuff around and maybe get it in. I've got a tractor in front of it and some other stuff. You know, my fear, the biggest fear is the door.
Yeah, I don't blame you on
I
that,
mean,
that's
it just,
expensive.
I came down at 7 o'clock one night to find the bus pinned in underneath it. And, it had the door tore up pretty bad. So, you know, I don't mind putting it in, Sandy, I really don't.
I
like
don't
I
think
say,
it was
it's-
me that was hitting the door.
I don't
was
think,
it?
I don't think it's a racetrack type deal, you
No.
know, it's just, you gotta kinda wait on the old door, it's kinda slow. But, and it needs some adjustment on it, I mean, it's old and it's been up and down a million times, but, you know, as long as they're patient and wait on it to go clear up, and wait on it to go clear down, I don't have a problem with it, I really don't. So,
And I know the mileage on it is pretty high, and when I kind of by accident saw that it had been taken out of state, it bothered me, I'll be truthful. That was one of the rules that we lived by, but I didn't know if the rules still applied or if they've
It
all gone to
does,
the
but
wayside.
It was for one of our employees and he did got it approved to take it out. So, I mean, I didn't see anything that said that, you know, like, I mean, you can't take it out without the approval, but
Right.
but the other thing is, I don't know where we're gonna be next summer, cause we can't find anybody to
Well,
work on it.
I will adjust our outings
And
according
it's,
then.
and it's gonna get hot again,
Oh,
it always does. I mean, we've been turned down by everybody we've talked to about it, it's like it's some kind of a bad disease, nobody wants to touch it, you know?
I'm curious,
So-
what year is it?
97,
It's a 97.
yeah, it's
Well,
23 years old this year,
Not as old as me. Oh.
so, no, me either.
We do appreciate using it, people. Our concerns is we care for it, and we'd like to continue to use it. Have
We'll
it
do some
working
shuffling,
order.
try and get it back in.
I'd appreciate that, Jared, and I'll try my best not to wreck your door.
Please don't. If you do, don't call me, call Dale or
Okay.
somebody.
I will be honest, I hit one in the past, because somehow the buzzer, the clicker got
Boy,
hit,
Yeah.
and it came down, and that's when Mel was on.
This one, you gotta make sure that door is completely
Yeah.
up, cause it will not go in.
That
So, and
was-
I need to have some work done on it, so maybe a few days, but we'll get it taken care of, we'll get it put.
Well, I don't have it until Monday, and, you know, if it's not icy, okay. But if it's icy, somebody start it and let it do.
We'll let Dale scrape it off, he'll have it waiting on you.
He's
Yes.
shorter than me.
Yeah, Jeff, see if you
We'll
can get
work
some,
with you.
Okay,
yeah,
I
try to get some
appreciate
shuffling
that.
around and get it in there if you would, please.
We'll do what we can.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,
All right,
thank you,
thank you.
Jeff.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome.
Okay. All right.
And stay warm,
Yeah,
guys.
you too.
It's cold out there.
Okay, moving on to consent agenda. Approved minutes, regular council meeting, January 21st, 2020.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. appropriation ordinance 12-31, 2019-2 in the amount of $3,183.50, and appropriation ordinance 2-4-2020 in the amount of $56,903.69.
So
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. Transfer 900 from diversion fund to main checking and 15,000 to land bank.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to department heads. Jeff?
Don't really have anything. We're kinda short-handed this week, and we're just doing some locates and some other stuff, waiting on the last locates to go through on the signs, and the rest of the signs should be in. Doing some federal reports and some odd and end stuff. We're down to 3 of us for the week between sickness and 2 guys in school in Garden City, so we're just taking up the slack where we can and keeping things together, doing some inside stuff, some wiring on the well house that we worked on, put a roof on, and some insurance wiring that the insurance man wanted taken care of in the shop and some of that, so
Okay.
that's kinda what we're doing.
All right, great. Anybody have any questions for Jeff? Okay, moving on. Public Utility Supervisor Jason.
I was just wanting to know if you guys had come to a decision on your wastewater pumps. I'm getting kind of worried about that due to having 1 pump left and we're out 10 to 12 weeks, even if you agree to it. And with spring coming around the corner, I was just, wanted to see if you guys made a decision.
I mean, I guess, really the way you guys see it, we just really don't have a choice.
We're kinda getting short.
I mean, you just gotta bite it off and do it.
If it was one of the others, we could do a little shifting to make things work for a little while, but that one takes everything that's in town. Without a doubt. I mean, it's 53, 54 years old.
Right.
It needs some care, so,
you're down to 1 out there now, is that right?
yes.
You got those bids, I didn't bring them.
And we have been for quite some time.
Yeah, so 1 has labor involved in it, and 1 doesn't, basically.
That's right.
That's the biggest difference.
But wasn't the one with labor cheaper than the other one?
Yeah, which is odd to me. I mean, it's basically apples to apples, as far as you know, right? Besides labor.
And that's, yeah. The main thing about those is that JCI one is just like the new one you guys have put out here by the grocery store, except it's gonna be bigger. And then another thing that's really good about theirs is it has a SCADA with a dialer on it too. So if something happens out there, we'll get a call from that one too. And as of now, if something happens, it just goes out on the road. Where this way, it'll give us time to even get out there and get it fixed before it even gets in the road. So I was kind of impressed with JCI on that part of it too. And plus the labor. And then everything's not even gonna be in the hole no more. It'll be out, the panel and stuff will be outside, and then they're gonna put the pumps, they're gonna cut the hole like I showed you on the film. They're gonna cut that big hole in there, and then they're just gonna put the pumps right down in there.
They're gonna basically eliminate the pump station that's there, go around it and tie back into it, that's what they're gonna do.
Well, that's, the JCI gentleman told me that, he said that it says for the price of what they put for another pump on theirs, he could sit there and give us another 3rd pump. So, yeah, that's kind of a good deal. And those are the flight pumps too, because I'm not working on those.
I guess if you think we have to have it, I mean, it's obviously a necessity. I
watched
a
the
lot of
last
money.
meeting, I mean, the JCI is clearly the choice.
It's a better deal of the two,
Definitely.
without a doubt. I think you'll cut the maintenance way down on it by doing that. I mean, we have with these, especially since we started changing those pumps out there. Since the grocery store went in and increased the size on those pumps. Those other pumps have been there, 18 years? Or something like
Yeah,
that.
a bit
And
bigger,
we-
plus
and we
put the
bigger
piranha
pumps in.
pumps on
Put
there
a
too.
piranha pump on there that has a grinder on the bottom of it. So unless you get somebody's shop rag, which we have had, get shop rags watered up in it, that thing will eat anything you put in front of it. I mean, they're just
It's
a
up
no
to
maintenance
yeah,
type
major
pump.
red rag.
And the nice thing about these is when they set on a stainless rod, and go down, or a rail, and when you pull them out, you pull the pump clear out of the ground. It never crawl down in the pit. You catch the stainless chain and you pick it up with a digger truck and pull it out and do your maintenance, drop it back in, put it, works like a pitless adapter on a water pump, same kind of deal. And all your control and like he said, the SCADA, everything's above ground, so it'll eliminate that. And that old well out there needed quite a little bit of work. I mean, to come back up to really what we'd call standards of, you know, for, as far as the controls, plus, it's not really just the safest place to go down breathe if you pull a pump without some sort of outside air. The air system quit on it. It wasn't working when I went to work in 1980, so it's been down a long time. So it needed quite a bit of work. And this completely eliminates putting anybody in the hole, which is a great thing insurance-wise for you guys too.
At JCI, do they subcontract that installation out, or they'll do that in-house?
They do it, I think, don't they?
The only thing they'll have done is cutting the concrete. And then the rest of it they do themselves. Yeah.
I haven't looked over the budget. We know where we want to get that money from. You
Well,
guys
I
have talked
pulled it
about the
up.
sewer improvement.
Yeah,
or
there
the-
was,
What'd you call it last
sewer
time?
replacement, there's 238,696.50, that was as of November of 19. The end of November, I don't know what it's at, I thought it was 260 some thousand.
Are you
I
talking
think-
about the
Sewer
replacement?
replacement,
Yeah, 269.
269,000.
How much does that get in annually? How much do we add to that annually?
It's, I'll have to look, I'm not
Okay.
100% sure,
We
but
changed that, didn't we? How much went in there? Did we increase how much was going in there?
are you talking about the transfer at the end of the year?
No, just on the budget. I thought we'd increase that, didn't we? So
I think we projected
I thought
for
we,
more.
I thought we.
Well, I think we've set more aside to roll into
Yeah, that's what I
the
mean.
capital outlay projects.
Right.
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember how much I guess that's what I was going at.
Jeff, do you know, do we have to pay tax on this dollar figure? We don't.
Well,
Not on the
So if you
sewer.
I don't think so, no,
No, on sewer.
because we don't charge tax on the sewer,
Right.
yeah, no.
It makes me a little bit nervous pulling money out of that sewer replacement fund. If you guys have looked at the videos from the camera and that we had all done, right?
Not all of them.
Not all of them, enough to see the worst ones.
We know that if we do any repair on it, we're gonna have to step as we do it. I mean, we can't spend, we have to do enough to make it cost effective for them to come out and do it, but we know that we can't repair all of them at once. We
Right.
just can't do
Yeah.
it.
I just don't want to
Yeah,
get us in
no.
a bind.
No.
If we can't just skim it.
And I think that's something we need to look at as far as the strategic planning deal. If we put so much aside every year, we'll put this much back into it and that stuff too. And Jamie and I talked about it before she was gone, that there's gonna come a time that in order to stay up with that maintenance, we're probably gonna have to raise that fee. In order to put some money back in there, most of this pipe's 100 years old, and as we find it, it's not gonna get any better. So we just have to see how far we can go at a most reasonable cost to repair what we have.
Right.
So we wanna repair the stuff we know that's a major part of it. Some of it may just have to wait, so. It's waited this long, it could wait, Unless it got to the point that we'd have to do something more drastic than that, so.
And
Anyway,
the main part, like I was saying, was underneath the buildings. I mean, if we at least tackled
Yeah.
those, we can dig the rest if we had to do it.
we
To
know,
replace the one, because
Yeah.
there's some you can fit softball size, or softball in some of those holes in the pipe.
From the camera you looked at.
yeah, some of them that big.
Tennis ball, I mean, some of
The
them. you look
biggest,
at
the
about like
biggest
that.
problem right now is the cast iron into the school.
Yeah.
And we've got a water-driven tool that we can put on that on our vac machine that has chains on it. We go in there and we beat that cast iron pipe, basically is what we do, and it knocks the nodules off of it. It's no different than red oxide in water pipe,
Right.
anything like that. Get it cleaned up and then line that thing in one shot. It's about 65 or 70 feet.
It literally looked like something off the Titanic in the bottom.
It's just, it's
There's
really,
probably not much for taps coming off it underneath the school.
none over there that I know, well, and you won't affect those anyway,
Right,
not from the inside of the pipe, so.
right.
Yeah, it's pretty built up.
Yeah.
It looks pretty rough, so.
So what do you think, council?
But
I don't think any of us wanna do it, but I don't know how you, I mean, you have to have it. I mean, we're going off your guys' recommendation, but it's a pretty important component. I mean, that's a problem right now. I mean, we don't need a camera footage to tell us that's a
Just put
problem.
it that way, the state doesn't like to see the water coming up the road.
Right.
That's got me worried.
And we usually get a phone call pretty quick from a guy out there in that neck of the woods, so.
Yeah.
yeah, judging by this, I wouldn't buy anything from Smith and Lovis again.
Yeah, that's.
We've got, I mean, you know, we've got stuff that, well, that pump station is Smith and Loveless, the one that's down at Cherry Lane is Smith and Loveless. We spent quite a bit of money with them in a year's time just on parts to keep that one down there running. Of course, we talked about replacing it, you know, we never did get an honest price back, so we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It needs the same thing done as we're gonna do out there, only if we can buy a rebuilt, it'd be a whole lot cheaper than replacing it and doing the same thing, retrofit it like this one, you know, so. And it's something I think to look at in the future, and it wouldn't be near as costly. If we can do that one for 60, we ought to do that one for less than half of that. So, anyway.
A lot smaller pumps.
I'd make a motion to approve the bid from JCI in the amount of $59,488 to come out of this sewer replacement fund for the lift station at the sewer plant.
So,
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. All right.
Anything else, Jason?
No, that's it for me, thank you.
All right, anybody have any questions for Jason?
You'll call and order that tomorrow then and get us on the books.
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
In fact, he's
moving
called
on.
me twice.
Moving on to grant administrator. Did we hear anything from Lisa?
No.
Okay. Okay, moving on. Police chief.
Well, just checking on one now. The only thing I did a second interview yesterday for a full-time position. Good interview. I don't know. We're just gonna wait and see. I don't know that the longevity of that individual being here is gonna be there. And I don't wanna spend the money or the time and it be done, which I guess brings me to my second question for John. And I know I talked to one of the council members about it. Yeah. Or first question, second on the statement. What is I know we've talked about it on, like hiring a person and doing a contract, saying a 2-year contract that they have to sign in. I know other departments do it. My old one did it, but I don't know, is there any teeth or is it just something that you try to keep them here and then if they just buck out, well, you just have to let them go?
Yeah, I don't know, and the cost.
You mean like if we send them to the academy? Is that what you mean?
No, well, there's that year, but some departments are doing where you have to sign a contract with that department that you'll be there for 2 years. That's, another year at least after your academy day. The thing is, they can leave after the academy. They don't have to stay here. Problem is, say that they go to Stafford and they've been here for 6 months out of that year, then Stafford has to reimburse us that 6 months.
It's statutory.
Yeah. So, but if they go out and they quit, or they work 6 months and then they set out for another 6 months and then they go back into law enforcement, then we're just out that. It doesn't matter. So it's just their time frame from graduation on. And that's kind of why I just didn't know if there was any teeth. This individual looked really good, and I mean, great interview. I just, 2 red flag questions that I asked and the answers that I got, I just kind of.
We can talk about it, you and I. I mean, I know that it's come up before. I don't really want to go in executive session to talk about it.
Right.
And
That's fine.
I don't really want to say it out loud, but I'll share my
Okay.
thoughts with you. But
That's fine. Yeah, I just didn't know. That's all I have.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for the chief? All right, moving on. Fire chief, Michael.
All I have is I need to remove Justin Van Dyke, Davin Graves, and Jacob Whitaker from the fire department.
Who was the last one?
Jacob Whitaker.
We've been making motions on
you have.
Yeah.
All of which have moved out of town.
Is there a motion?
I move to remove Gavin Graves, Jacob Whitaker, and Justin Van Dyke from the city fire department.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Anything else, Michael?
That's all I have.
Okay, great. Anybody have any questions for Mike? Moving on, city administrator.
I don't have anything.
You have nothing on
Oh, hold it, I got one more thing.
Sure.
I think I did.
I don't know, you have to ask.
Did I ever put Case and Ziegler on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we did last
okay,
time.
yeah, okay, I thought I did.
2 meetings ago. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 meetings ago.
never mind,
Okay.
scratch that.
All right, no problem. Okay, moving on to city attorney, John.
I am still working on, council asked me to draft an ordinance related to marijuana and drug paraphernalia, and I was in trial last week, and so I got halfway done at the beginning of this week and ran into some other issues at work, but I think what I'm gonna do is finish a draft and get it to, Chief to review first before I present it to council. Make sure it's what he wants. And the other thing I'd like to do is, typically for those types of cases, the matter or the drug is sent to the KBI for a KBI report, which is $450. I'd like to prepare an ordinance to pass it along to a defendant if we're forced to use the KBI lab to pass that, basically enact a lab fee.
Okay.
I don't think there would be any other reason to use the KBI lab except for that drug ordinance. I don't think we would need it for anything else.
No, I don't think so either. And on the KBI lab deal, when they come in, their first appearance, if they plead guilty or no contest, then we don't have to send it to the lab.
Yeah, well, or
We only
or
have
if
to send it if they plead not guilty and want to go to trial. Then we send it off to the lab and that gets done there. So, but it isn't on every case that we automatically have to send it, and it's $400 just to.
I don't know if we'd ever use it, but it's kind of nice to have as a, this is what you're gonna end up having to pay if you challenge this kind of thing. And I did look into, in regards to a city-county meeting, I did look into the process. You would not need to take any kind of formal action, no resolution or anything of that nature. Essentially what the city would do is just recess, basically recess until the start of that meeting, because it'd have to be an open meeting. And the county commission would do the same thing. And then at that meeting, you would each separately adjourn. Okay, and you couldn't do anything but discuss matters. There'd be no binding action, there'd be no votes or anything of that nature. You would have your adjournment vote, but you're gonna vote as a city and they're gonna vote as a county to adjourn that, adjourn your city meeting. So basically, you're still in city meeting, you're just having your meeting simultaneous so you can talk. My thought is that if it's something you guys would wanna pursue, is propose it to them, and what you can do is make it, suggest that we do it every 6 months and put together, and Jamie could, or Pam could work with the county clerk to do an agenda. But I don't know whether there's any appetite on their end to do it. But I certainly think you guys probably have an appetite to do it. There wouldn't be anything you need to do to get that ball rolling other than talk with them. That's all I've got.
All right, anybody have any questions, comments? Okay. All right, old business, anybody have any concerns or comments regarding old business?
I have just a little piece of something I should have brought up a little bit ago, and I
Okay.
flat forgot about it.
Okay.
I need to see about ordering a transformer deck. We're gonna reconfigure some stuff out here on the oil wells west of town. In the past, we've had a lot of problems with voltage jerk in the summertime, really bad, when those pumping units are up and down, when the load gets heavy. And I've been working with the guys from Mid-States, the guys that do our paddle board and that stuff. They do substation work too. And I have a set of 7,200 volt transformers and a set of step up transformers to get the voltage back up. We're at 2400. So what we're essentially gonna do is step the voltage up and feed it into the secondary transformers and feed it back down, and that's gonna knock the amperage down so that we don't have as much pull. But I need to get them up on a deck, I don't want them on the ground, and the cost of it's $2,406. It was just over what I normally would spend, but I need to bring it to you. So it takes about 4 weeks to get it. We don't plan on doing it till early this spring, because we're gonna have to do some looking out there to what's buried in the ground, because we're essentially gonna have to build a small substation out there for these oil wells, so.
How much was that again?
It's 2406 and some change.
Council?
Yeah, I
Sounds
mean,
good to me. I mean,
Yeah, we gotta have it, we gotta have it.
I mean,
yeah.
It'll just make it a whole lot cleaner out there. We'll get it up in the air away from everybody, so.
Okay.
Okay,
Is
I'll
there
get
a
it ordered.
motion?
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Huh?
Sorry about that.
That's quite all
I
right.
have brain dead here
That's
between the
all right.
bus and everything else.
It's one of those days. Okay, back to old business. Anybody have any questions, comments regarding anything on old business?
Just the police department policy. Everybody look through it? Everybody good with it?
We approve it.
Can I make my motion to approve it? I'd make a motion to approve the police department policy manual as presented to us.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
First edition. Good.
All right.
First edition.
First
Take
edition.
that off of the old business now. All right.
What's-
Can we
what-
remove the lift station now as well then? That's what it was, that.
Yeah, that works.
Did you guys wanna remove that truck parking for a while or no? I didn't know if you wanted to or not.
Yeah, we can take it off till spring. I mean,
What? I'm fine with taking the truck parking off.
Street
Yeah.
signs can come off
Yeah,
after
that's what I
night
was gonna
too.
say,
Yeah.
street signs. I mean,
We'll get them in before next council meeting, that'll be done.
Yeah.
The utility truck has got an official date.
Supposed to, yeah, supposed to.
Supposed to be built north.
So we better leave that on there just in
Better leave
case.
Yeah.
Might
Supposed
be
to.
2021 before that rascal shows up.
Has the wet center repairs been started?
Yeah, he started this week.
Oh,
The
really?
truck's a year late, Ross, so I wouldn't get in a big hurry
They
here.
haven't made the title yet. Just add the date
Almost
to it.
all day.
Yeah, they've been over there today. Yeah.
Crazy.
Had to make the metal.
Do we wanna take that off?
What?
I mean, The
The
wit
wit
center
center.
repairs?
Let's leave it on there till it's done. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that'd
I
be
mean,
fine. I
sure,
mean, they're not finished. We might as well just leave it on there until they're completely
Same way
done.
with the truck.
I'm
Just
okay
leave it
with
on
that.
What
there.
about the West Street
We don't
stuff?
wanna
What do we
give-
have left of West Street?
We don't give Jamie too much of a heart attack when she comes back. See how many business
Cut
stuff.
something on that.
Okay. All right, do we have any new business? Okay,
Administrative report was cut and dry.
gonna have an executive session to discuss pursuant to non-elected personnel matters. Police chief, excuse me, chief, how many minutes do you need for this?
Give me 5 minutes.
Can we do both of them together? Weren't there two police chiefs?
There's two, yeah.
Yeah, there's two here. Then if we're gonna need about 20 minutes.
Who all do you want in that?
Everybody at the table and myself.
So moved.
All right,
Second.
got a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. We'll resume at 7:53.
Jason and Jeff will want to.
Call this meeting back to order. First thing, I'd like to get a motion to accept Jeremy Courtney's resignation from the St. John Police Department.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries.
And Pam, can I get I didn't make never mind. I have a copy of it.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. We have another motion? Another discussion?
You want me to start it then?
Yeah.
So, I'd like to see if we could get a motion for purchasing a new canine for $8,500 from Signal Canine in March. That's when the dog should be ready to go.
Do you want to check with the auditor first, since it's coming out the equipment reserve?
What was it, Marty?
I mean, like, it's the dog. Do you consider him as like equipment?
Is
Because
the equipment.
we get
Oh, I thought we were considering him an officer.
because a couple of years ago we had to transfer money back from something that we bought that's not equipment when we did the audit, and
But he is a piece of equipment.
I was gonna say, I was
He's-
assuming it's a piece
he's
of equipment.
I guess I wouldn't mind checking, but I guess, I mean, one way or the other, I would
Moving ahead.
like to see it happen, so,
okay.
so it's gonna come from somewhere.
Because we do have to, I mean, he is insured. I
We
mean,
can, I mean, like, if we can't, we can ask if we can transfer it out of that. Well, I don't know. I'll have to
I
ask
can't
him.
imagine it would be anything else.
Right.
I'd make a motion to allow Alan to spend $8,500 from Signal K-9 for a new K-9 dog
Out of the equipment fund?
out of the equipment reserve fund.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right.
Curious, do we have to make a motion
It's somebody
to
for
turn
sewer
the other
replacement though.
Do we need to do anything for the other one?
Throw him a party.
I mean, do you need permission or turn in?
Well, I guess we can, I mean, just cover it if we need to, since it is city acquired property.
Do we make a motion to release him of his duties? No, seriously.
No, I mean, since he's on the books, because he is on the insurance, I don't
I mean,
know.
it wouldn't hurt if
Yeah, I
Make a
agree.
motion to, release Vaco the first week of March, pending
Yeah, we don't have an
Pending
exact
delivery.
date, yeah.
of his return to Signal Canaan.
Do you want him to do a resignation letter?
There you go.
Just keep him working until he goes home.
Yeah, no, we're,
from
and he's
there.
still workable, I mean, we're definitely using him, I mean, that's what I'm waiting on call tonight to go, so. Yeah, he's still workable, it's just
Yeah.
his environmentals.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Right.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. Wish Vaco happy retirement.
Thank you.
I'll let
Okay.
him bite me first.
Okay, we have an executive session to review applications for potential hire.
How long do we need on that? How many applications are there?
I didn't count. We got about like 8.
20 minutes.
I guess we can start with 20 minutes
That's the most applications for anything.
to include,
We want the table?
and Jeff. If one of them pertains to him.
Okay.
I mean, you can ask him to leave if you have to.
Yeah, I mean, we can discuss it first and then whatever.
Whatever you wanna do.
Okay, so, is that a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. We'll resume at 8:23. Call this meeting back to order.
I'll make a motion to hire Jacob Raymond Davis at $20 an hour in the electric department.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. Okay. Anything else? Okay, at this time we adjourn into land bank.
Call land bank meeting order. We need I think we can do it, 5-minute executive session to discuss property,
So
To
moved.
discuss acquisition of real property.
to discuss a property.
And the only thing we can do in executive session is acquisition of real property. It's the only exception.
To discuss a important part of our properties, not public knowledge.
I don't make the laws.
Okay, so what do we need to discuss it then, because we can't do it in an open meeting?
What's the reason why we can't do it in a meeting?
Contractual obligations.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't like being surprised about things.
Well, trust me, neither do I.
Yeah, me either.
probably not gonna find her looking for it. Do you know, Pam, where we could find Jamie's city and,
City code?
no, she's got an open records book.
So you haven't told John what you're gonna discuss?
I haven't had a whole lot of time with this.
Can't you just take him back there and ask him if we can? Just tell him what it is?
Good, if that's what he wants.
Hey. John,
Just go ask.
can he just, Marshall, go ask you in the back if we can talk about it? So we can get this
He can
going?
talk to me, I'm trying to figure out whether it would be subject to an exception to the Open Meetings Act.
Well, yeah, but you don't know what it's about. So
Sounds important.
It would fall under attorney-client privilege, wouldn't it? I mean, you could talk to them privately.
All right, Marshall, come here.
I got excited. It's just sitting there. I need to go over there and unload it.
These are our exceptions. Yeah. That's kind of.
Did you sign?
Huh?
Sign that?
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
it's just one, is that it? One pack.
Yeah.
I haven't signed it yet.
It was a pretty quick meeting.
We took 4 or 5 things off old business since you were gone.
Yeah, did you? Did you guys really?
Yep. Yeah.
Which ones?
We took out the street signs and police policy manual and lift station.
Truck parking.
And we did take the truck parking off. We're gonna put it back on come spring.
I'm telling you, the efficiency that the city council had was shitty.
Right.
Things would get started and they
Well, if
never
you show up
got
on time, we'd be more efficient.
Yeah, probably.
We were 1 vote short, did you realize?
He
So you
wouldn't
guys
come
wanna
in, I
see
wouldn't
these
let
two
him.
applications?
I said, you weren't sitting at the table when they called the meeting, you can't go in.
That's untrue.
Yeah.
Okay,
Handle all the business before you got
you
here.
just wanna see his application, you don't want interview or anything like that?
I don't think at this time. I don't think we're ready for that. in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I asked Jamie if I could just throw half of the applications away, cause there's waste of time. She's like, no, you better not.
I think it is nice to have those applications emailed though, just
Yeah.
so we're not passing them around and hurrying to go through them, you know?
I just didn't know with it, like, I didn't know if you can
Right.
email it, because it's not a
Privacy
public
thing.
record.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
a
I
privacy
think,
issue.
I'm okay with it. We can just, it's okay. But I'm okay with you doing it.
That's what it is. It's all right, she can yell at me.
Okay,
What's
so,
the plan, land bank?
apparently we aren't gonna have an executive session, so mark that out. I guess I will just inform you guys, the property on First Street will be coming down the end of this week. I guess I would ask the land bank if they are okay. We're gonna have some dumpsters hauled in. The group of people are gonna help take the house down, but we have to clean the entire house out. So I have made contact with Chad about setting some of his roll-offs there and getting the city crews to come in and help next couple days. Myself will be down there had a few other people volunteer to help clean up the stuff and get it, and then the land bank to just pay for the disposal of the roll-offs. The rest of the house will be hauled out to the county.
Not to further complicate things, is it gonna run counter to it, Unruh's? Are they okay with it?
He's got permission to use them in town.
No,
He just doesn't have.
I
permission to
just
use them.
figured, Ben's how Chad is donating his time to help the city tear down houses, that it's only right to let him just set the dumpsters. But I guess I'm asking for your guys' permission to spend the money from the land bank checking account, that the money that we had set aside, the 5,000 and the 10,000 for the demolition, is put in that account to pay Chad for the roll-off dumpsters so he doesn't eat that bill.
Are we ready, are we ready to take it down, Jeff, or we can be ready?
We've kind of been forced to take it down
Okay,
a little
so,
sooner than we wanted to.
so.
The problem is that we can't haul anything other than,
Building material.
building
Right,
material.
well, I was
out
just
there.
meaning like the water and the primary.
Yeah, everything's done.
I mean, we're
Everything's
good,
all
we're not
done.
gonna like
Yeah, yeah.
yank it out,
It's-
water's
nope,
gonna come
nope,
spraying.
It's done, the gas is unhooked, I checked with Kurt, everything's done. It's ready to
Okay.
come down, so.
So short of just being a pain in the tail,
Yeah.
Correct.
If I can take the
Do they
porch
have
off
any
of it, I'll go through
volunteers
the
that are
front
gonna
room
be
with a skid steer, I'll take it out of there.
helping,
No,
they just give the rules, since we're giving it for free.
yep, I guess.
Huh.
Like I said, it just kinda got dropped on me Sunday, and Chad was informed of it, and so Chad said, well, let's just get it done this week. He's gonna make time the end of the week. Bob Steinmetz is gonna bring some trucks. I talked to Ryan about some trucks, and I even talked to Jeff about, they're short-staffed right now, not a lot they can do. They've got a couple dump trucks, if they can bring them Thursday, Friday, when we start tearing it down, to speed the process up. But I want your guys' opinion, approval. It is gonna cost the land bank a little bit of money, like I said, to get rid of the roll-offs, but we'd have to do it eventually. 'Cause it
Might as
can't-
well just go ahead and take care of it. That's my opinion on it.
If we could pass that on to somebody that might acquire the property.
I hate to, I mean, I don't wanna be, I guess I'll be opinionated, but I don't think it's our city guys' problem to drop what they're doing and go haul trash out of the house. I
Well,
don't really appreciate that much, that's,
I don't
we were
either.
pretty clear when we said that we're gonna give that and we're gonna get it down on our time schedule.
I'm well aware of that.
Okay, I'm just saying,
I,
okay? I mean, it's not necessarily our problem, we were up front that it's gonna come down when it comes down, right?
I told Marshall with the way the weather was, that we could pull the spreaders and the blades off of them, and we'd have them trucks open where we could use them if we need to. We'll shuffle some stuff, we'll make it work.
I mean,
I understand what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
just want us to all, I mean, I don't think it's, I mean, our emergency, this isn't our emergency, we clarified that,
right.
okay, I'm just making sure.
That's a Tyvek suit job, I guarantee you.
Anyway. The dump trucks is the easy part.
Yeah.
All that coming out of the inside is not the easy part.
it's not any personal property that belongs to somebody or.
It's a lot of personal
I'm
property.
sure it is.
Yeah, a lot of personal
Well,
property.
I'm sure it's a bunch of
About,
pack rats
about 4
property
foot
right
deep
now.
all the way through the house.
It's trash, there ain't nothing that's good in there, I mean,
It's pretty much abandoned property that's in there.
It's probably rightfully
And-
Is
condemned.
this the
to
one
be
that had the
honest.
1970s pizza box in it?
Yeah.
well, it's the
It's
one
got a
that
freezer
first,
full of stuff in it.
yeah. I mean, it's the one that we bought at the sheriff's auction, so everything that's in it is ours.
Okay.
I guess call in all the help you can for cleaning the inside. I'm totally covered up.
Well, I'll just find whoever I can find, and
It's Carolyn looking to.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. Yeah.
but
I would just express that to her. I mean, you don't need to do all the legwork, you know what I mean?
I know where it's gonna go, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's not gonna mess up our deal. We're not the ones applying for
We'll
it.
get it done.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
All right.
Put stuff out on the curb for free.
do you want
Makes
a
it up.
motion to go ahead and hire Chad Fisher to provide the dumpsters?
I would, yeah, because I don't know how many roll-offs it's gonna take. I mean, it could cost us $700 or $800,000.
It's almost much easier just to knock the house down with the stuff in it and haul it out of the county.
The
If you
the
can.
answer that I got on that was that they didn't sign on for that, and I understand that too.
That,
The guys that were gonna provide
Here's
trucks
the
did
thing,
not sign on to
they
haul
didn't-
it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought the same thing.
The
You're
guys that
exactly
are,
right.
that are giving their time and their equipment wanna haul it from St. John to the county. They don't wanna haul it out of county.
no, I'm saying the roll-offs. If we have the roll-offs, just a bunch of roll-offs and throw them in there, and you don't have to get all kinds of help.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
might have
right,
12 or
know.
15
I don't-
roll-offs
I don't know.
yeah.
at $400 a
Probably
piece.
400 apiece.
Is
We're
it
gonna have
cleaning-
at least 2 and maybe 3.
Cleaning that out is gonna be,
That's a lot.
that's gonna be far harder than demoing it, right?
Oh, by
I mean,
far, yeah, by far. Yeah, we thought
Okay.
about picking up the whole works and putting it all in the
Yeah, that's what I
dumpster, because
mean.
Barton County will take it.
Yeah.
But
that's
like
what-
I said, the guys that I talked to said, well, we really didn't sign on for that.
Right.
I mean, we
Okay.
would basically have to hire Chad to just
Yeah.
tear it down, haul
Oh,
it,
yeah,
pick it
Yeah.
up.
Be the same way as,
And it's
I
probably
guess I'm
gonna
just-
cost you $7,000 or $8,000 by the
Yeah.
time it's done.
yeah.
As long as long.
Well, yeah, it cost us $6,500 to have one tore down on the south end of
Yeah.
town
That one
and
that
hauled to
Nelson
our
did, yeah.
landfill.
Yeah. Well, the last one we did in a dumpster was over 6,000. That's been quite a while ago. That Nelson Stone did. So,
Well, I don't
but it
want,
didn't have near the inside material that this one's got. I mean, this one's full.
yeah, nobody break their back trying to haul out a deep
If I could get my
freezer.
skid steer in the front door and
I
open
mean,
it up, I'd go in there
Yeah,
and
I'm
get it by the
serious.
mouthful if
mean,
I
that
could.
just- We have other priorities. I know this is important, but we have far more things at the city that we need to be prioritizing
I
than
don't
cleaning out the
disag-
trash out of the
I don't
house.
disagree with you on that at all.
I mean, I don't wanna have one of our three guys, Jason just had shoulder surgery, he's not exactly in the mood to pick up
No,
a deep freeze.
he's not. He's really not.
I mean,
I just don't want somebody to fall through the floor in there or something,
Yeah.
you know? I really don't want one of my guys hurt if we keep from it.
absolutely right.
Sure, so, nails, I mean, there's just an unlimited amount of stuff that can happen, but we're gonna try and get as much of it with the equipment as we can. So,
Cool.
besides that, you need a Tyvek suit to go in there.
I guess I motion to use Kansas dirt dumpsters, removing the trash, hauling it off,
Paying for it out of the land bank.
and paying for it out of the land bank.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, any other discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Other than that, I have no other land bank business. Anybody have anything else? I'd entertain a motion to adjourn land bank.
So moved.
Motion, second. All in favor? Motion carries.
Reopen this meeting of the regular city council. Having no more business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries.